Hello Crafty Llamas! In today's video I'll be showing you how to make this watermelon coaster using some of the wonderful products we are stocking on our site. So stay tuned and see how to make this easy project. So this project is the watermelon coaster from Francis Hughes, a free pattern I found on Ravelry, which I'll put in the link below. As this project is using chunky yarn, I'm using our Symphony 6mm crochet hook by Knit Pro. I will also be using the Clover Sheep stitch marker set. The markers come in a variety of different sizes that's super easy to lock and unlock. They also look like really cute sheep, so that's obviously a bonus. As for the yarns I'll be using, I have this bright red Hayfield Bonus Chunky. I have some Cygnet yarns too. This black Aran as well as a cream chunky. And finally, another Hayfield Bonus Chunky in this lovely watermelon green. So I'll be starting with my red yarn. The pattern starts by saying chain 5 and slip stitch through the first chain to form a ring. However, I will just be doing a magic circle as I find it easier to gain the same effect. I will then be chaining 3 and placing a stitch marker on the top of my chain 3 so that I know this is the start of the round. I'm now doing the 13 double crochets into the ring. Once you've done those 13s, you can pull the thread to close the loop nice and tight, and there you go. There is the start of your coaster, which means I have this lovely starting circle with 14 stitches in total and this little sheep marker to mark the start of my round. So, round 2. The next step is to slip into the top of my original chain 3 to join the round. I'm just going to remove the stitch marker so that I can see what I'm doing. The Symphony hooks are really nice and pointy, which makes this bit that little bit easier, as you can kind of get that in there a little bit more, as you can see with my slip stitch here. And now I'm going to chain 3 and pop 1 double crochet into the first stitch. I'm then going to pop my stitch marker just back into the top of that chain so that I know where I'm starting. And then pop in 2 double crochets in every stitch around, and then that is the end of my second round. You should finish with 28 stitches, and then I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the round and then once again start on round 3. Right, round 3 is very similar to the previous round, but instead of putting 2 double crochets in every stitch, we're going to pop 2 double crochets in every other stitch. So I'm going to start by chaining 3 and then place my sheep marker at the top of the chain 3, and then, as I mentioned before, I'm going to be popping a double crochet in the first stitch, then popping 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Repeating this around, I will have 42 stitches in total. I'm then going to slip that last stitch into the beginning of the previous round. So we are now on round 4. Round 4 is just like the previous round. Start by chaining 3 and popping a double crochet into your first stitch. Once again, I'm just going to move my sheep marker up and then double crochet into the next 2 stitches and then increase in the third. So repeat this round until you have 56 stitches. Round 5 is started again by chaining 3 and putting a single double crochet in the first stitch. I'm going to move my marker up after this and put a single double crochet into the next 3 stitches, and then an increase of 2 double crochets into the 4th stitch, repeating this around until I have 70 stitches in total. I'm now going to fasten off this work as I will be swapping to my cream yarn for the next part. So I am just going to cut my yarn using these stunning rainbow unicorn scissors from Higher Europe. We are currently rather obsessed with these because everyone loves rainbows and unicorns. To fasten off, you're just essentially yarn over, pull through the loop nice and tight, and then there it is, all secure. Round 6, so the next part is going to be using the cream colour. So you can join your cream colour anywhere in the round. It is probably best not to join right at the beginning of the round, as it will draw attention to where your round starts and finishes, creating a bit of a gap and will curve the pattern. So I'm just going to join here, and I have never really learnt how to do this in the correct way, so I'm just going to show you what I do. I just make a slip knot, pop it over my needle like this, pull it tight, and then pull it through the stitches like so, and there you go. Now for the round, I'm going to simply single crochet into every stitch around, and that is that. I'm trying really hard not to yarn over, as I am so used to doing the double crochets at this point, but I will fight the urge to stick to my single crochets until the end. Here I will slip and join and fasten off with my cream yarn. So I'm now going to start with my green yarn, just like I did before with the cream. So pop a slip knot onto your hook and slip it into any stitch on your work. I'm now going to chain 3 and pop a double crochet into the same stitch as my slip stitch. Then it is a single double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches, followed by 2 double crochets in the 5th stitch, repeating this around until you have a total of 84 stitches. I'm just going to slip the stitch to join my round, and then that is round 7 done. So for round 8, I am going to chain 2 and half double crochet once in every stitch around and end with a slip stitch to join the round. Right, now for the final round, which is working in reverse left to right. This is called a crab stitch or a reverse single crochet, which creates a lovely decorative edging, almost like a picot edge. So I am going to pop my stitch holder back into place and try to remember how to do this. From here, you need to go into your previous stitch and work all the way around backwards. It may feel a little bit weird, but it's easy when you do get into it. If you pull it tight as you go, it will create these nice little bumps on the edging as you go. So I'm just going to take out my stitch marker, as I've realised I don't do the chain one at the start of the round, so I'm just going to have to slip stitch in here to finish my work. Now I'm just going to cut the yarn with my gorgeous unicorn scissors, yarn over, pull through, and there you go. Now I just need to sew in the ends into this and it will be all done. I also just need to mention that I know this pattern is for a watermelon coaster, but since I've used such chunky yarn and a larger hook, this is going to be more of a placemat for my desk. So to sew the seeds, I'm going to use this Clover Jumbo darning needle set, which comes in this really cute knitting needle case, which I actually think looks a bit like a rocket. It comes with 2 darning needles, which are perfect for what I'm doing next. I'm just going to grab my black yarn and cut a length, and the pattern says to sew lazy daisy stitch into rounds 3 and 4 over your stitches, but I don't think it really matters as long as you're happy with it. So to do the lazy daisy stitch, bring your yarn up through a stitch and back down next to it. Then sew back up through the loop you've made. Sew back into that last stitch and pull tight. Now repeat this as much as you would like. So this is my finished watermelon, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out, but just using my big mug as an example, this is more of a placemat than a coaster. I will just show you everything I used to make everything again, all of which are available to buy on our Etsy shop, which is Crafty Llama UK. So this is a Knit Pro Symphony crochet hook, and it's a 6mm. I've used a single marker from my Clover Stitch marker set, which are the ones shaped like sheep. These I've actually found to be really flexible and easy to use, and they don't feel particularly flimsy, so they don't feel like they're going to break. I've also used my Clover Jumbo darning needles, perfect with the bent little tip and large hole to make for easy threading of my yarn. And then my Higher Rainbow unicorn scissors, which, I mean, what can you say apart from they're just fabulous. That's it from me today at Crafty Llama UK. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram and Pinterest. You can find us by searching Crafty Llama UK. And then there is also our Etsy shop, obviously, that we've talked about. That's also Crafty Llama UK. And last but not least, like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget our mailing list is just below as well. That's it from me. Enjoy! Happy crafting!